Today on Dr. Phil.
Winning the lottery changed our lives for the worst.
You thought we won the lottery, and you're saying he saw it as he won the lottery.
I think that's why she's with me. She has money signs in her eyes.
You make me sound like this evil person that's like, give me your money. Are you kidding me?
I have such hate for him. I do not like her treated like you treat her.
I'm married to Jody, not to you.
They say money can't buy happiness.
Do you think this marriage is over?
You won't believe
You violated her makeup and lip gloss.
how nasty this gets.
I went to put it on, and I'm like, oh my God.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you
I
down.
try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Wow, it is a dream that everybody talks about, winning the lottery, right? You've all thought about this. Well, statistics show you actually have a better chance of getting struck by lightning, being crushed by a vending machine, or hitting a hole-in-one on 2 consecutive par 3 holes. Why? Because the chances of anyone actually winning a jackpot in a lottery like the Powerball are 1 in 177,223,510. Now, these slim odds haven't stopped people from taking their chances. Did you know that over $65 billion are spent on the lottery in America yearly? This surpasses the national debt in countries like Ecuador, with a national debt of $19.9 billion, and Lithuania, which has a national debt of $29.55 billion. And it surpasses the amount of money used for cancer research every year. Think about that for a minute. Basically, the lottery is government-sanctioned gambling because it generates billions in tax dollars from people mostly that can ill afford to be spending the money, hoping they can win big. Now, to many, striking gold will only remain a dream. But for my next guest, Edwin, it became a dream come true. Edwin just started a new job when he and 14 co-workers each put $50 into the lotto ticket pot, and they hit a $25 million jackpot. And after dividing the winnings, Edwin walked away with $1.66 million after taxes. Now, here he is, right here. With his co-workers. But his wife, Jody, says ever since Edwin won the lottery, he's acted like it was his win and his money. And he even made a concerted effort to hide some of his winnings from her. She says their marriage has gone downhill fast and divorce has been threatened numerous times. Take a look.
Winning the lottery changed our lives for the worst. Things just started showing up. A hauling trailer, the quad, snowmobile, a sand rail, holiday trailer. This was purchased at the same time the holiday trailer was. I think he paid about $68,000. He thought it was his money and no one was gonna tell him what to do with it. I just wanted to be part of the decisions that he was making. The only thing that I really requested is that we purchase a home. He transferred $500,000 into my account. From that point on, he stopped paying for anything. All bills became my responsibility. When we went to the bank, out of the $500,000, there was around $80,000 spent. He got really upset and livid at that point, and he said, "Where did all the money go?" He was so furious. He became so paranoid. He would say, "You're not entitled to anything. Like, it was my money, my win." Edwin's made tons of threats to divorce. During one fight, he said, "What do you think you're worth?" I thought it was 50-50, and he laughed, and he said, "Well, there's only $15,000 left. There should have been $700,000 left in the account." And he said he just gave it away. He was tired of having it. I found out he paid for his brother's house. I couldn't believe he would just hand over $500,000 and put it under somebody else's name. I absolutely think he got rid of the money so I wouldn't have any access to it.
Okay, now, first off, winning the lottery, this was something you were excited about, right?
Oh, completely excited, of course. Yes.
Because this was like $1.666 million is a lot of money to y'all.
Oh, it was huge, yeah.
Because you guys are a working family, and so having that much money together at one time, game changer.
Oh, it was mind-blowing.
And how did you find out about it?
Edwin and his crew, they had found out early in the morning, and Edwin, he was working out of town at the time.
New job.
He'd switched positions. He was working out on the rigs now instead of just at home. So he was supposed to call me in the morning, and he didn't call, and I kept trying to get a hold of him.
That's unusual, right?
Right. He finally picked up his phone when I phoned, and I'm like, what is going on?
You're frustrated. You're chewing him out. You're not,
right.
Why didn't you call me?
Right, and
You're worried.
because at this time, I didn't know anything, and then, I was like, why didn't you call me? What happened? And we probably argued for about 10, 15 minutes.
He still hadn't said anything?
No, I had no idea, and then finally he just came out and said, well, would it make you feel any better if I told you I won the lottery? And I'm like, what? Are you insane? What are you talking about? Because I thought he was trying to make a joke of my anger. Then he said, absolutely, we won, and how much? He said it works out to be about a little over $1.6 million a piece. They're calling in a new crew, and we're coming home.
He tells you he's won this $1.66 million. You find out later that he had known this actually for how long?
He found out, I believe it was like really early in the morning, probably 6.
Did it go through your mind, why didn't he call you right away?
Well, it did, because it blew my mind immediately, and I couldn't figure out, and he didn't sound excited. He's like, well, yeah, I won the lottery. Is that going to make you happy now? And I'm like, why aren't you screaming up and down? And I started shaking immediately, and I'm like, what do you have to say about this? Why aren't you excited? And he was just, yeah, no big deal. I'm just coming home now. And then when we went to go claim the prize, we all met at his boss's house, and all the wives are sitting around, and oh my God, my husband called me at 5 o'clock in the morning, woke me up, and I'm sitting there mine didn't even call me. I had to try to track him down to even know it had happened.
From the beginning, was this a we won the lottery, or was this a he won the lottery?
It was definitely a he won the lottery.
Why was it he won the lottery instead of we won the lottery?
I wish you could answer that for me. I don't know. It was just, he had won it, and it was his money, and
well, Edwin says he and Jody had marriage problems long before he won the lottery. He says their biggest issue now is his wife has dollar signs dancing in her head.
Wow.
That's the deal. Let's hear his point of view.
When I won the lottery, she was more excited than me. I think that's why she's with me. She has money signs in her eyes.
The only money that I have right now is locked up in investments. Are you upset about that?
She has no concept for the value of a dollar. She is obsessed with money. I gave her $500,000 to buy the house. There's so much money gone. She couldn't, until this day, explain it to me where it went. I can pinpoint where my lottery winnings went. When I won the lottery, I thought it belonged all to me. I thought I could spend it how I want without asking for permission. Jody and I had issues before I won the lottery. When we first started dating, I did get in trouble with drinking and driving. I had no freedom. Jody had control over me. I felt like I was under house arrest.
When I try to talk to you, just sit there like that. You don't say anything.
She always put me on the spot and make me feel like I do everything wrong. We fight about 3-4 times a week. I want to get help to make us better, but I think we just been down the rocky road. I feel there's no hope.
Do you think this marriage is over?
There's some hope for us, but I don't think we can carry on anymore of how you've been carrying on.
Were you on the brink of divorce before you won the lottery?
Yeah, I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah. Were you aware that he was that unhappy before?
No, I mean, I know we had our problems, but were we on the brink of divorce when he won? No, I didn't. I don't agree with that.
Then we won the lottery, and you're saying he saw it as no, he won the lottery, and she wanted to get her hooks into it.
That is insulting to me. It really is. What did I ask you for? That we could have a home. That's what else did I ask you for?
Money for security.
A home for security, because we were living in rental places that weren't the best. That's what I wanted.
Too. I gave you a bunch of money.
What do you mean you gave me a bunch of money? You gave me money.
You wanted to go to school, you wanted to have money for security, and I gave it to you.
I do appreciate what you do, but you make me sound like this, you know, evil person that's like, give me your money, give me your... Are you kidding me? It's insulting to me.
Did you feel like that you did win the lottery? That it was you, not the two of you?
Yes, at the time when I won it, yes.
Well, so where did all the lottery money go? What Jody accuses Edwin of buying and what his priorities were when we come back. We'll talk about all that next. You bought your brother that house for $500,000?
I gave it to him to help him out, get him on his feet.
Let's be honest, we all knew it was to hide assets.
And later,
my blow jar was all smashed and my necklaces were like ripped into pieces. And then when I went to put on my lip gloss, I could smell something awful.
I wiped them with my butt. I was mad, and that's how I got back at her.
After I found out he paid for his brother's house, I did get a lawyer because we were fighting massively at that point and talking about divorce. The lawyer did tell me I was absolutely entitled to half. Edwin's response when I told him what she said is just to laugh, and he still didn't believe it. He did say there's no way I was getting half of his stuff. I do think our marriage went downhill after Edwin won the lottery. He completely betrayed our family and robbed us of our future.
well, I'm talking with Jody and her husband Edwin, who won $1.66 million 2 years ago from winning a lottery ticket he and his co-workers purchased. So, you know, everybody's always curious, what do you do when you win? What do you spend money on when you win the lottery? And you guys were very forthcoming with us about that. So we put together what you spent the money on. Here's what Edwin's personal purchases were. You bought 3 trucks up here, different kinds of trucks. Then you spent $39,000 on, what is this thing?
It's a sand rail.
A sand rail,
Yeah.
which is like a dune buggy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Side by
okay.
side.
Yeah. I'm getting you on that, okay. And this is like a 4-wheeler?
Yeah, it's a
A
typical
quad runner
quad,
type thing? And a snowmobile? And what is this?
It's just a utility trailer.
Oh, that's a trailer
Yeah.
to put these things in?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is like a motor home type?
Toy hauler.
Yeah, trailer. And then a motorcycle?
Yep.
Or is this the house you bought for your brother?
Yes.
So down here, this is the purchases that you made for Jody and the children. This was the house for the family, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then furnishings for the house, and then a car for the family, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. And then this was, I see ears. So was this like a vacation?
Yeah, it was Disney World.
This was Disney World. And this was to Mexico?
Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Dominican Republic. Okay. I recognize that sign. So that was a trip out here, right?
Right.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Then he bought you rings to go with your wedding ring.
Right.
And then, what is this?
Looks like a haircut, but I definitely didn't spend $2,000 on a haircut, so I don't.
Beauty school.
Oh, okay.
These personal purchases here were $755,000, and here $605,000. for a grand total of $1,360,000. So when you add it all up, that's where 1.3 of it went. So that's like 300,000 left over. But that seemed like a lot of money gone, but there's some assets in there, like two houses and new cars and things like that. Yeah. So that leaves 300,000 roughly left just cash, but you say there's just 50,000 left in the account, so you're saying, well, there's $250,000 missing, right? The question is, where'd that money go? Is there just 50,000 left in the account? I mean, is a $250,000 missing?
Right.
You thought divorce was imminent, right?
Yeah.
Did you start kind of moving money around?
No, I just helped my brothers out because they were both struggling.
You bought your brother that house for $500,000?
I gave it to him to help him out, get him on his feet.
And you thought, what's that all about, right?
Well, I had no idea it happened till months later.
Right.
Right.
And did you object to that?
Oh, yeah, of course I did. Well, because, I mean, I think it was the way it was done. I mean, let's be honest, we all knew it was to hide assets.
Yeah. Was it to hide assets?
More or less.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a different answer than you gave me like 30 seconds ago, because I said you started moving money around because you thought divorce was imminent.
Yeah, well, I thought that way before, but it sounds like I was hiding money, but in reality, I was helping my brother out, and he was going to pay me back a little bit, or if we work things out, I can get the house back in our name, and there'd be no doubt about doing it that way.
I knew something was going on. He finally gave me his Facebook password. I was sick to my stomach. A whole string of messages come up, and I was reading them and just getting more and more disgusted. I was getting Brooke ready for her dance competition. Edwin's cell phone rang, and so I answered it, and then when I said hello, I could hear somebody there, but then they just hung up. I don't know why, but right away my stomach just dropped. I knew something was going on. I did call the number right back, and it was a woman on the phone. I just said, you were calling my husband's phone, and then she just right away got really defensive. Oh, no, nothing's going on, nothing's going on.
I went out once with a girl I knew since grade 5. When we went out for coffee, we were just friends. Nothing happened.
After arguing for a little while, he finally gave me his Facebook password. I was sick to my stomach. A whole string of messages come up, and I was reading them and just getting more and more disgusted. They were just like, sweetie, honey, I miss you.
I didn't tell Jody because I knew it would blow up into an argument.
I said, well, I don't want you talking to her anymore.
Okay, this bothered you a lot?
Oh, yes.
Did he cross the line here?
Absolutely, I believe he did.
Do you think you did?
No, I don't. It was a girl I went to school since grade 5. I haven't seen in a long time. She ran into me on Facebook. We were playing a harmless game, Angry Birds, whatever.
Jody provided us some of Edwin's Facebook messages between Edwin and the friend. And here are some of the excerpts. March 29th, 2011, 9:31 p.m. Edwin, oh, they're nice though. Just wait till you get used to it. Then you'll love it more than me. What cheat did you use? The friend, shaker. Edwin, well, I can shake it better. Smile. 10 minutes later, Edwin, oh, just give it some time. It is just getting to know you. Then you will be paying more attention to it than me. Edwin, come on, sweetie. You have to give me time to catch up to you. Then I'm supposed to be on top, remember? 18 minutes later, Edwin, well, sunshine, I'm going to hit the hay. Holy long day, hey? Edwin, but you have a good night. Friend, you too, hon. Miss you. Heart. Miss you too. What is with the heart? Smile. Besides that, it means love. Friend, ha ha, yeah, it means love. Laugh out loud, smile. Hearts, love, 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 laugh out loud. Edwin, okay, silly, I would give it back, but I don't know, so I will just stick with the smile. So, heart symbol. Take care, sweet dreams. So it just kind of goes on like that.
As bad as that conversation sounded, it's not what everybody thinks. We were talking about that game we were playing.
I think she wasn't so worried about how you got to the next level as she was the hun and the sweetie
exactly what
and
it was.
heart and all of that, which I'm pretty sure wasn't Angry Birds specific. It's more like Angry Wife game. That's what you objected to, right?
Right. And it was the fact that, I mean, he did go meet her for coffee a couple times.
I just met her once, and that was it. Just went for
But see,
coffee.
my thing is, if you weren't doing anything wrong, then why would you call me and say you were working late?
Because if I actually
Go.
said I'm gonna go for a coffee with this girl I haven't seen since high school.
That didn't send up any red flags
No,
that maybe
no.
it was over the line. That's why you had to.
'Cause if
I
I went
was-
your way, it would have hit the fan anyway. So
Edwin, when you're how would you feel if you read stuff like I was talking to somebody like that?
I feel bad, but I wouldn't think that you're trying to hook up with them.
The Dr. Phil definition of cheating, if you wouldn't do it with her standing there,
I have once with her friend, yeah, true, but
then if you wouldn't do it with her standing there, then that's flirting or cheating or crossing the line. If you wouldn't do it with her, if you wouldn't have typed that stuff to her and done those hearts and stuff with her sitting right there next to you, then it's probably not the best idea to do it, right?
Sure, yeah.
And you wouldn't have done that if she'd been sitting there, would you?
No.
Let's take a break. Coming up, Jody's mom, Linda, is here and says Edwin's lottery win has turned him into a jerk. Well, he's not so fond of her at this point either. We'll talk about all that when we come back.
Edwin used to be an amazing dad before he won the lottery. Now he is very selfish and very self-centered.
Well, I'm sitting here with a couple of millionaires because Edwin became a millionaire overnight when he won a work pool lottery 2 years ago. His wife Jody says a lot of their marriage problems stem from that big win. But she isn't the only one who says the money changed things. Jody's mom, Linda, says winning the lottery turned Edwin from being the sweetest guy to a downright jerk. Take a look.
Edwin and I had a very good relationship before he won the lottery. He was a really, really nice guy. Now he is very selfish and very self-centered. What Edwin wants, Edwin gets. Edwin used to be an amazing dad. Now he just kind of completely ignores both the girls. He does pay a lot of attention to his daughter, but not to the twins. It is very painful now, the way things are.
Well, Linda and Edwin haven't spoken to each other in almost 3 weeks. Now, the last time they spoke was before a big fight that erupted in the Dominican Republic while on a family vacation. Take a look.
About 2 weeks ago, we all went on a vacation in the Dominican. Edwin was drunker than a skunk.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, I had a knock on the door, and he was just in his underwear.
Security brought me back to the room because I was lost after going for a swim in the ocean.
I was really frustrated and angry and just exploded, and I tried to push him out of the room. Then he became really angry and started yelling, "You're going to hit me, you're going to abuse me," and then he started like slapping himself really hard.
So I went into their room. I hollered at Edwin, and I grabbed him, and I pushed him onto the bed.
Security then came upstairs, and I had went into the other room. That night I could hear a whole bunch of banging. So when I went into the room the next morning, my blow jar was all smashed and my flat iron was broken. My necklaces were like ripped into pieces, and I picked up my makeup brush. It was all like stuck together, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Pieces of like poop. And then when I went to put on my lip gloss, I could smell something awful, and I looked in the tube, and there was like poop like around the tube that I just spread all over my mouth.
I wiped them with my butt, just popped in my head. I was mad, and that's how I got back at her.
Edwin and I have not even seen each other since the vacation. Right now, I have such hate for him, I won't talk to him. You don't even have the nerve to look at me.
No, I have.
Don't. Oh.
Yes, Dr. Phil.
Tell me again about these makeup brushes and lip gloss.
Oh, I got back, and I was so mad and drunk that I wiped her brushes with my butt and broke her stuff. As sick as it sounds, yes.
Yeah. It's like, here's poop in your face, dear.
The next morning, you come in and all your stuff's destroyed.
Some of it, yeah.
And then you go to put your makeup on. And did you actually use the lip gloss?
Yeah, I mean, hours later, we were going out for dinner. And obviously, I checked all my other makeup over, and it was fine. And then I grabbed my tube of lipstick and went to put it on. And I'm like, oh, my God, what is that? And I smelled and immediately freaked out, of course, and scrubbing, trying to wash my face. And
how do you feel about that?
No, I feel bad about it.
Okay.
But at the time, I wasn't in the right state of mind. I wasn't thinking.
But you do recognize that's like really bad idea.
Yes.
I do not like her treated like you treat her.
no, it's
I'm
not
married to
that.
Jody, not to you.
How did you get in an argument over a cup of sand?
It was a cruise. I went swimming. I got a cup of sand for a souvenir, whatever, to bring back home. I got off the boat. I give it to her. It's not a big deal. It's only a cup of sand.
God, it was.
No. But I give it to her. Like, my baby was fussing with grandma on the front of the boat, so I hop off. We were at the back. I go get my baby girl, bring her back to shore, because she was in, give it, like, hold on to this, because I wanted to bring it home. Sentimental value to me, right? She gives it to her daughter, and then her daughter gives it to grandma, and grandma's, what the hell is this for? And throws it right out.
No, I didn't. I carried it for quite a ways.
Well, if you lose a cup of sand at the beach,
I wasn't mad about the
can
sand.
you just get another
Yeah,
cup
I
of sand?
tried.
You're at the beach.
I did.
Okay, all right, just checking.
But it wasn't over the cup of sand. It was
Come on,
over.
let's
Okay.
be real here. You
I
were
am.
upset.
So I just want to be sure I understood it right, that there was a fight over sand at the
Yes.
beach. Because
It was before
if
the
there's
sand.
one thing that's plentiful at the beach, it's sand. Coming up, Jody says Edwin has an alcohol problem and needs to get that under control. Edwin doesn't think he has a problem, but does say he occasionally drinks to escape her nagging. We'll talk about that when we come back, because I'm trying to find a way to climb back up the ladder here. We'll be right back.
I do think Edwin has a drinking problem.
I don't think I have a drinking problem. If I wanted to stop, I could.
When Edwin drinks, he gets really mean and hurtful.
When she's in one of her moods, I could drink that six-pack like no tomorrow. I feel drinking is a reality escape for me.
Does he have a drinking problem?
I believe he does. I mean, he doesn't drink all the time, but I believe it can get out of hand, most definitely.
You were concerned when you went on this vacation.
Yes,
I
because...
was concerned before we went on that vacation.
Edwin, I hate when you drink. I hate it. Because you get
I can't even
mean.
have a few drinks. You think I'm an alcoholic?
Because you can't have a few.
Yeah, I can.
Your attitude changes completely when you're drinking.
You said whenever you met, you had lost your driver's license due to drinking.
Yeah, I had an impaired previous before we met.
3?
You had a DUI. Have you had more than one?
Yes, I have.
How many?
No, 3 and over the past 10 years.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, well, your chances of getting a DUI are like 1 in 5,000. So I mean, if you've gotten hit 3 times, you must be drinking and driving with a fair amount of frequency if you've been hit 3 times. You had a blow box on your car for 2 years.
Yeah, in my truck.
Then Christmas, just this last year, were you in jail?
Oh, I got put in the holding tanks.
Drunk tank?
Yeah.
Just
I went
this
to my
last
Christmas party.
And then on the vacation where you were talking about, you showed up at the door of your room drunk in your underwear?
Oh, I went to the beach to get another cup of sand.
There's that sand again. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you showed up at your door drunk in your underwear with another cup of sand with security, and then you were drunk enough that you tore up her hair dryer and some of her stuff, and then you violated her makeup brushes and lip gloss in a way that you got to be pretty drunk for that to make sense.
Yes.
I mean,
I wouldn't do that in a sober state of mind.
there's a pattern here that you got to think that's starting to. And I'm just wondering, what are you so angry about?
I bottle my feelings up. I don't let them out. I got nobody to talk to.
You
'Cause
can
you
talk to
seem-
me.
You don't listen to me.
You seem really angry. And now you're behaving in a very chip on your shoulder, abrasive way.
Yeah.
Now, you say, look, that's not all coming from the inside out. A lot of that is I'm reacting to the fact that she is nagging me, controlling me, picking at me, and bickering constantly to the point that I'm just like, help,
It
shoot,
doesn't matter what I do.
put me out of my misery. Hell yes. I'll admit to anything. Just shut up.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you'll just shut up. I get that. You're frustrated. I also get that you have a marriage and a family here, and you have a precious daughter.
Yes, I do.
She loves her daddy, and she loves her mother.
Yes, she does.
And you can't be pissed off at her and bottled up inside and not change who you are for that little girl. You think you can. You think you can be all loving with her and just pissed off over here. But let me tell you,
I understand that.
anger and bitterness is a pervasive emotion. And it goes into every relationship and everything you have. And doesn't she deserve better than that? Doesn't she deserve all of her daddy?
Yeah.
Doesn't she deserve a happy home?
Yeah, she deserves more than that.
You guys think about that for a minute.
The last time I saw my mom and Edwin fighting, it just made me really scared and nervous. It makes me sad because, I want them just happy.
Brooke has definitely developed animosity towards Edwin. Once he asked her to go brush her teeth, but she had said no. And so he was mopping up like dog pee, and then he came around and chased her up the stairs. He'd caught her and he was standing over top of her and he put the mop on her face. Edwin didn't really see anything wrong with what he did.
When Edwin came into Jody's life, what she loved most about him was how well he connected with her girls from a prior relationship. Now, both she and her mom Linda say it's a struggle for him to even acknowledge their presence, and that creates tension and it's confusing for him. And you've said that you're kind of letting them set the tone, right?
Yeah,
That
not me, they are.
it's just kind of up to them. If they want to engage, they don't.
I acknowledge their presence. I know they're there. I say, hi, how's it going, girls? How was school or whatever? But it's like talking to them. I get no reply back.
You don't a lot of the time, though.
No,
Most of the time.
no.
I want you to imagine for me I want you to fast forward and say, let's assume that this marriage falls apart. Let's assume that you're right, you've had all you can take, this marriage falls apart. Fast forward 6, 7 years, she's remarried, and your daughter is now living in a home with her and her new husband.
Yeah.
How would you want that new husband to make your daughter feel about herself?
Good. Happy. Treat her like
How
it.
would you want him to make her feel about herself? Here's what one of the twins had to say about what's going on in your home right now.
When I see my mom and Edwin fighting, it makes me sad because, like, I want them just happy. The last time I saw my mom and Edwin fighting was in Punta Cana, and it was actually a really big fight. And it just made me really scared and nervous because I didn't know what was gonna happen. And I went to my little baby sister to protect her, and like, I was just scared for her. I knew he was out of his mind. At first, he was like hitting himself in the face, which I thought he was gonna hit Mom, which I started crying. I love her. I don't want her to be sad too.
Sorry?
That sounds really bad.
That's how it is.
But I'm getting attacked here. It's both of us, and it's not only me going drinking and coming home and just yelling to scare the poor little girl.
Jody and Edwin came on this show because they said they really wanted to find some peace and work this out. Can that happen? I'm going to tell you what I think when we come back.
I wrote to Dr. Phil because I didn't feel like I could handle it anymore. I do look at Dr. Phil as our last hope because with the girls and stuff, it can't keep going on like it's going on.
I definitely want Dr. Phil to be able to get Edwin some help of some kind.
You won the lottery, and that is, it
Should be happy.
It creates disequilibrium, though.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that first year, that first 18 months, that creates all kinds of problems.
Oh, it does.
I mean, you look at people that win the lottery. There's these unlucky lottery winners. Denise Rossi, $1.3 million, lied during divorce proceedings about winnings, and the judge awarded the money to their ex. Willie Hurt, $3.1 million, charged for murder. Ibby, and I can't pronounce the last name, $5 million, killed by her husband. Evelyn Adams, $5.4 million, gambled the money away, now broke. Jeffrey Dampierre, $20 million, killed by sister-in-law. Billy Bob Harrell Jr., $31 million, committed suicide. Jack Whitaker, $315 million, wish never won the money. I mean, these things can just destroy people's lives. Mm-hmm. You know, Maslow described it. We have these needs, but you know what happens? You win the lottery, and all of this love, belonging, and esteem, a lot of that comes from feeling like we have worth by what we do, and we feel like we didn't do anything for this, and we kind of lose our balance. Don't lose your equilibrium here.
Okay.
If you will let me bring you some help here, you will be so much better in a short period of time, you won't believe it. If you will just decide, to stop being a victim and start being a leader in this situation and lead your family where it needs to go, you will be amazed what you can create. I will get you the help to do this. Give me 90 days to work on this. You will be amazed how much better this will get. Will you do that? And I know that you work and you're away. One of the resources that we have here that Jay and I have created is Doctor on Demand.
Right.
I know you've heard about it, and
Yeah.
everybody uses it for their medical needs, but we also have it for psychological counseling as well, where you don't even have to leave your house.
Wow.
On your smartphone or your computer, I will arrange where the two of you can sit right there, be face-to-face with a licensed therapist, family counselor, doctoral level, you can sit there in your own home, and they will work through this with you and take you guys through what you need to do. Will you do this?
Yes.
Okay. Deal?
Yes.
Okay, deal. Give me
Deal.
that 90 days. Okay. And if you at home want your own Doctor on Demand, you can go to Google Play Store, iTunes App Store, download the Doctor on Demand app. Thanks for being here. So long. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Today on Dr. Phil.
My husband, Sonny, cheated on me.
The people that I trusted and loved the most did this to me.
The other woman, she's here.
My sister slept with my husband.
I didn't lie, I just didn't tell her.
It hurts. And all I do is picture what happened.
Started touching her, started touching me.
I woke up in shock and I ran out of the room.
She didn't run out.
They're mad at each other. I don't care that you're mad at each other. You both did this. I'm mad at both of you.
This seems like a good idea. Why? Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
In 5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Go, Dr. Phil.
Good. All right, you guys are jumping today. I can see that. All right, I got a question for you. How many of you guys have been in a situation where you got rolling along and real early on you got a cue, something's wrong here? Maybe you were dating somebody. Did it happen when you were dating somebody? Yes. And maybe they said something, maybe they did something. You know, I'll just dig a little deeper. No problem. I'll dig it a little deeper. Maybe it got to the point you're actually walking down the aisle. You had it happen. Was it you or somebody you knew? You? Okay, here's our first guest for today's show. No. Did you marry him? You did. You married him. Exactly my point. You just keep digging. My guest today cannot seem to stop digging. Okay? That's what we're talking about. They probably thought marriage would be as easy as 1, 2, 3, ABC. But sadly for them, the A stands for abuse, the B stands for betrayal, and the C stands for cheating. Take a look.
During the entire time that I've been with Sonny, the police have been called over 20 times. When I was just dating Sonny, he was so mad that he kicked in our front door and our bedroom door.
She had locked me out of my bedroom, so I kicked the door down. There was no other alternative.
When I was 6 months pregnant, he tackled me in the hallway.
I am not physically abusive to Caroline.
You don't hit me, you don't push me, you don't pull my hair, you don't flip out.
That's complete. Twice she's hit me in the face. One time she punched me in the back of the head in front of my sister and in front of my kids. She grabs me and laughs.
Yeah, I think I did grab him, and he was grabbing me, and then that's when he flipped me over on the ground.
She'll lose control to where she gets physical and verbal and hits me, and then I'll retaliate with a grab and throw her down.
He pulled my hair and pushed me back, and I flipped over the armrest of the couch.
I hit you in the face on accident because I was trying to block you. That happened 2 times. You're trying to hit me, and I'm grabbing you like this, I'm telling you to stop, and you bite me in the face. Now I don't grab you anymore. Why would I grab you so you can bite me in the face?
No, you just throw me over the couch so I get out of your way. So
Yeah,
you
I
can
do.
leave.
I pick you up and I throw you on the couch because you're irate. You're crazy.
Wow. You heard me talking about this at the top, how we see things and just keep going. Did you see things and keep going? Did you see things and keep going?
Sure.
What was the first time you thought, this could be not good?
The time when we were fighting, a little while after we had first moved in together, and front door and our bedroom door were busted down because he was mad.
Now see, there's a clue. That's a clue that there are problems. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Well, she had locked me out of the house. My clothes were being thrown over the rail.
There's a clue. Okay, you've each got a clue. Did you ever at that point think, you know what, I might just want to stop this?
I did. I left.
Oh, but you came back.
Yeah.
You were hardly out the broken door before you came back. Why'd you come back?
He asked me to marry him.
He asked you to marry him. Come on. Why did you ask her to marry you?
It didn't happen exactly per se like that. It was more like we kept talking to each other and it kept building. And, you know, like I'd say I'm sorry and she'd be like, you know, I'm sorry too. And it was just a stupid fight that we totally could have avoided, but it happened.
A lot.
Yeah.
It happened a lot. Have you ever heard me say the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior?
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know what somebody's going to do tomorrow, look and see what they did yesterday. Because I put together, actually you helped us put together a timeline. And I want to go through some of it. Now, you're not going to agree with all this. You're going to have a different version of this. And I'm going to tell you why it doesn't matter at this point. Because what I'm focused on right now is what your perception was. And this is what you believed, and you still did what you did. So your relationship became official back in July of 12. Weeks later, you say you get in a fight and Sonny pulls your hair out.
I was laying on the pillow and he pulled the pillow out from underneath me because he said it was his couch and he told me and my friend to get off of his couch. And he pulled the pillow out, and when he pulled the pillow, it pulled some of my hair out.
Okay, pulled a pillow out and with it, some of your hair. Okay, so then you leave. You said, you're not gonna pull my hair out. I'm leaving. But then you come back and he proposes. And you say, okay, I'll do it. And sure enough, you guys get married. Now on your honeymoon, the guy that pulled your hair out on the couch, you say, you get in a fight and he leaves you stranded without a car or money for several hours out in the middle of nowhere on your honeymoon. He's pulled my hair out. I've moved out. He's left me stranded on my honeymoon. Let's just get pregnant. January, you're having complications. You say, I need help here. I need to go to the hospital. And you say, will you take me to the hospital, please? I'm having complications here. What did he say?
He said he didn't want to go with me because we were fighting.
Different version. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is what's in her bank.
Right.
6 months pregnant, you get in a fight, you bite him, your 4-year-old witnesses this, and then he shoves you, okay? You say he tackles you to the ground. You're 6 months pregnant. He tackles you to the ground. Then in August, your daughter's born. Cute as a button. Your daughter's born. Okay, so now we have that involved here. He quits his job, you get in a fight in the car. He's arrested for domestic violence, right? We know that because we have the police report here. Fight over a purse, hurt your finger. Then, even though you've been arrested for domestic violence, a few months later, you say he throws you to the kitchen floor. Now, this is all your perception. You know all this stuff, but you're hanging in there. And then this happens. And this is a bombshell that not any of this predicted, this was a game changer.
My sister Ashley was the maid of honor at my wedding. In January of 2014, my sister moved in with my husband and I because she was having health problems. When Ashley was living with me, I felt like I finally had someone to talk to cry to have fun with.
Caroline's sister Ashley is a bad influence. I can't stand her.
I never expected that Sonny would have slept with Ashley.
Well, that would be a bombshell in anybody's relationship. But they don't agree on what really happened that night. Surprise, surprise. The details get a little fuzzy because of another letter in the alphabet. Not just A, not just B, not just C, but D, drinking. Take a look.
My husband, Sonny, cheated on me in June last year. I blame both my sister Ashley and my husband for allowing that to happen. Ashley said that she does not believe that they had sex that night. He said that they did have consensual sex. I don't even know what to believe.
It just seems like so unreal to me.
2 months after the incident, I found out what happened. That evening, my sister Ashley had already been drinking, and then she started drinking whiskey with me.
I got home from work, we started drinking shots, and we had a couple beers.
When Sonny and Ashley went outside, he was touching her leg and rubbing her leg and leaning in close to her like how he does with me. Ashley ended up going into her room and passing out.
I actually passed out on the couch. My wife passed out next to me. Then I got up and walked all the way to the bathroom. On my way to the bathroom, me and Ashley meet up. Ashley had a tank top on, a see-through tank top, no pants. We kind of just started touching each other, and she knew who I was, and she knew what was going on. We had sex in her bed. In the middle of us having sex, Ashley pops up and puts her shorts on and walks outside to the back porch. She looks at me, she goes, "We cannot tell Caroline, you know that, right?" And I'm just like, "No, yeah, I know."
I got out of bed and I noticed that the back porch light was on. And so I went to the door and opened it. He was standing there with the beer in his hand and she was sitting on our patio couch. I knew something was wrong, but I never expected that my sister, Ashley, slept with my husband.
Okay, tell me how you feel about this.
I can't talk about it. I don't like to hear him talk about it. It just makes it worse. The two people that I trusted and loved the most did this to me, and it doesn't seem like they feel bad about it. They're mad at each other. I don't care that you're mad at each other. You both did this. I'm mad at both of you. Why does it matter how they feel? They did this to me.
He says he's getting up and going to the bathroom, and he runs into your sister, who has on a see-through tank top and no pants. And he goes, "Ah, looky here." And he goes after her.
I think that he saw it as an opportunity to drive a wedge between me and my sister because he's jealous of our relationship. So I think that he thought, awesome, Caroline's passed out, I'll just go have sex with her sister. But when he told me what happened, all I do is picture what happened. So it plays in my mind like almost every day. It hurts and I don't want to think about it.
And you say this wasn't planned. No. It just happened.
There's no motive for it. There was no intention for me to sabotage her relationship between her and her sister. And again, I hate to blame alcohol, but it played a part. Started touching her, she started touching me, and...
You say you were drunk, but you knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
You knew, I'm in my home and this is my wife's sister. This seems like a good idea. Why?
What was going through my head was, hey, you know, and that was pretty much it.
And you understand, she tells a completely different story.
I'm sure.
Yeah, well, we're going to hear from her because the other woman, the third person in this love triangle, Caroline's sister, she's here. And she says her memory of what happened with Sonny the night they slept together is very different from his version. She'll be out right after the break.
Caroline's sister Ashley is a woman that has no self-respect.
After I found out that Sonny had relations with my sister, my first instinct was to blame her. Ashley has a tendency to dress provocatively.
The next morning after I had just slept with my wife's sister, Caroline wanted to have sex with me in the morning, and I feel like I was obligated to have sex with Caroline just so she wouldn't think that I was cheating on her. It would just ruin the rest of the day. Sadly, in my heart, I already knew that the day was ruined. I do feel guilty for having sex with Caroline after knowing that I had just slept with her sister.
Do not adjust your set. You heard that right. My guest Sonny admits to cheating on his wife last summer with her sister. A lot of you might be wondering what Caroline's sister has to say about all of this. Well, she's here. And her version of what happened that late summer night is so much different.
My sister's husband, Sonny, is a pathological liar. June of 2014, Carol and I decided to have a barbecue. We drank Fireball whiskey. Sonny had gotten home and suggested we get another bottle. We ended up drinking 2 bottles of whiskey. After we had been drinking, I was exhausted. Everything was a blur. I remember vaguely stumbling into my room and passing out on my bed. Falling asleep with all of my clothes on, and when I awoke, my pants were off. When I did wake up and realize someone was having sex with me, he wasn't in front of me, so I couldn't see who it was. I was very out of it, so I thought I was having sex with my boyfriend. I had turned around. That's when I realized that it wasn't my boyfriend, it was Sonny. I jumped out of bed. I grabbed my pants. I just remember sitting on the back patio, shaking. I was so confused on what happened. And I just sat there and I cried. I did feel guilty. I believed that it was my fault. Now I'm coming to the realization that's not me, it's him. I was assaulted. I never came out and told Caroline that. I never said those words. Till now, I do feel like I was almost raped.
Well, I'm glad you're here. So he says the two of you ran into each other both on the way to the bathroom. Didn't happen that way?
I don't remember that. The last thing I remembered was passing out in my bed.
Well, what do you remember?
I remember falling asleep, and I remember waking up with someone behind me being touched. And when I turned around, it was him. And I jumped off my bed and I ran out of my room and I ran into the backyard.
And you agree that at one point during this, you did wind up in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And you do agree that at one point, she just all of a sudden jumped up and ran out.
Yeah, she didn't run out. She just said, definitely not her boyfriend, and giggled, laughed, put on her pants, and walked out.
And got dressed and left.
She walked out to the back porch, like she said.
This was in the middle of things?
Yes, in the middle of things.
Yeah. Did you wonder why she did that?
Mm-hmm. I kind of just was like, what? What are you doing right now? And I didn't say that. I was just like, what? After she started putting on her pants and walking out. And then I put my pants on and walked out too.
And so the two of you went out and sat outside.
I walked
Did you
out.
talk about what happened?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember talking about what happened?
I vaguely remember him. I remember him coming out when I was sitting there smoking a cigarette, and he was saying something about Caroline. And then I think about a couple of minutes later, Caroline, she was on the sofa and she'd come outside. Or she'd come to the door to come get Sonny.
You don't remember what you were
I
talking
don't really
about?
remember our conversation, no.
So you went from being passed out to rallying, waking up, getting dressed, going outside, and sitting there. That's a pretty good recovery from pass out drunk to going vertical, getting dressed, walking out back, and sitting down and having a conversation.
I mean, yeah, I woke up in shock. Like, when I came to, I was in shock, and I ran. I didn't know what to do.
So you didn't know this was him?
No.
Yeah. Had your boyfriend been there?
No.
He hadn't been there that night?
No. No. But I stayed the night a lot at his house, so I thought that I had passed out drunk over there. I was literally so drunk, I didn't even realize I was at home.
So you were disoriented as to place and time?
Yeah, I didn't even know I was at home.
You didn't know what house you were in?
No, I thought I was at his. I didn't realize I was in my own home.
Because you thought, okay, so you weren't with your boyfriend that night.
No.
You woke up in bed with your sister's husband that night. You just assumed that you'd somehow been transported to your boyfriend's house and that he was behind you that night. And you woke up in your mind, in your drunken mind, you thought, I'm not at my sister's house anymore, and my boyfriend, who I wasn't with tonight, has somehow entered the picture. And do you believe this?
I looked around the whole house for both of them, and I couldn't find them.
Didn't you lie to her about this originally?
I didn't lie, I just didn't tell her about it.
Well, you didn't say just had sex with your husband.
My sister Ashley is the person that I love and trust the most, but it hurts that the person that I love the most betrayed me.
Caroline's sister Ashley is a woman that has no self-respect. Ashley is very deceptive and manipulative. I would never choose to sleep with Ashley if I was not drunk. She's ruining my marriage.
After I found out that Sunny had relations with my sister, my first instinct was to blame her. Ashley has a tendency to dress provocatively. If she would have dressed more conservatively, then maybe it might have played a small role in this not happening.
Do you believe this?
I do, because we've been best friends our whole lives, and she goes out and drinks and doesn't know where she is or what she's doing, so.
Because you've been best friends all your life, you believe her because she tell you the truth. She's telling you, you think she's just telling you the truth.
No, because I've seen her that intoxicated before and been in a situation where she doesn't remember what happened and doesn't remember where she is or...
Didn't you lie to her about this originally?
I didn't tell her. I didn't lie, I just didn't tell her about it.
Did you ask what was going on when you went out there?
I kept telling her.
You went out to the patio and you said, what's going on?
Yeah. I was kind of mad because I looked around the whole house for both of them and I couldn't find them. And I'd cleaned up his throw up before I went to bed, got her a pitcher to throw up in. I mean, they were completely just...
Yeah. Charming evening all the way around. But you, when she came out and said, what's going on, what did you say?
I don't even remember what I even said to her. I don't even think I really even said much to her.
Well, you didn't say, I just had sex with your husband in bed, or I was raped by your husband in bed, or anything of the sort.
No.
So you lied by omission.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did you say?
Same thing. I didn't say anything either.
Okay. And the next day you were sober, right?
Yes.
You sobered up.
Yes.
And you remembered what happened. You knew exactly what happened, right?
Yes.
So you went to her and told her then?
No, I kept it to myself. I didn't tell anybody.
I'm sorry?
I kept it to myself. I didn't tell anybody what happened.
Okay. So you didn't confide in her then? You didn't say, hey, heads up here, I need to tell you something. I was violated last night. You need to know this guy came into my room and violated me last night.
I didn't know how to tell her, and I didn't want to be the cause of any more problems with them. They were already having enough problems, and I didn't want that to be an issue for them.
Our Twitter's blowing up on this. Jeanette Fuller says, if you drink so much you can't remember what happened, you need to stop drinking. At Havens _Mary says, well, Sonny, pointing the finger at your sister-in-law does not eliminate your responsibility for any of it. And at Cobra Girl AZ says, how does one allow themselves to cheat with their sister's husband? That's a double betrayal that hurts like death. Ever since the incident between Sonny and Ashley, Caroline says things have only gotten worse at home. We'll hear just how bad when we come back.
You said, I'm leaving, and I put my hand on your hand. I did not hit you, and you told the police that I hit you. And you pushed me, and I fell down the stairs.
No.
Why would I swing on you with our child in your arms?
Because you're crazy.
I feel like I haven't heard, I haven't given you the opportunity to give me your side of this whole thing fully yet, so I want to do that now. I went through the timeline and I said it's Caroline's timeline because it's her perception of what happened. I said there'd been trouble. You want to be clear that you dispute some of those things and how they happened, and you've made it very clear in your tape pieces that she aggresses against you sometimes. I frankly don't think that's an excuse at all. There's no excuse for a man to ever put his hands on a woman in anger, ever, for any reason, whatever. But certainly if you're a guy that's our size, I mean, you just can't do that. And you're going to wind up in trouble if you do. But what do I need to know to help this situation? What do you need for me to know?
First of all, I want to let you know that it's not a situation to where I have to put my hands on her and, you know, physically harm her. It's her when she goes to swing on me and me trying to stop her from swinging on me.
Does he restrain you, and when he pins your arms down, you bite him?
Because he doesn't just restrain me. He's like forceful about it.
Why is he having to restrain you at all?
Because I'm trying to leave, or if he hurts me, I swing back at him now.
You had an anniversary recently, right? October of last year, you had your second anniversary. Did you hit her in the face?
No.
Did you throw her down the stairs?
No.
Did she kick you in the groin?
No, she grabbed me in the groin.
Did you try to get a restraining order?
Yes.
He got it, but he never served me with it.
It was never served?
No. Because the night that happened, we both poured beer on each other, and then I came inside because you saw a message from a guy that I was helping at the gym asking about Ashley, and you got mad that I changed my code on my phone because you like to go through it whenever you choose to, and you got mad at me and started yelling at me, telling me that I was cheating on you, that I was sleeping with somebody else, calling me names, and you went upstairs and you said, I'm leaving. You had her diaper bag on your arm and you had her in your arms, and I put my hand on your hand. I did not hit you, and you told the police that I hit you. I did not hit you. I admit to hitting you before, but I did not hit you that night.
So are you saying that you never were banging on your head on the door?
Let me finish. I put my hand on your hand and I was begging you not to take her, and you pushed me and I fell down the stairs.
No.
Yes, I know. You will continue to lie about this.
You swung on me.
No, I did not. Why would I swing on you with our child in your arms?
Because you're crazy. You get crazy. You get that crazy. You get to that point where you just start swinging.
Your whole family protects you. They all sat
what are you
there
doing
and
here
watched
with
you
Caroline?
throw her down.
What are you doing here
in
with
front
Caroline?
of the entire
The
family?
exact same thing.
I'm not protecting her.
To defend herself for
Whose
what
chair
happened
is on your
between
side?
you guys.
Whose chair is on your side?
I'll move it and sit in the middle. I'm not on
It's too
anybody's
late
side.
now. It's after the matter.
I'll sit in the middle. I'll sit back there. It doesn't matter. I can
That
be
would be
behind
nice.
stage.
You'd still be out of the picture.
Perfect.
All right, we know Sonny cheated, but is he a danger? Ashley says yes. We're going to hear why she wants her sister to leave when we come back.
Sonny is a very evil, devious person. Him violating me that night was a plan because my sister does depend on me so much. He was trying to ruin that relationship between us. He knew exactly what he was doing, and he took full advantage of the situation. Sonny is a psychopath. Caroline is very blinded by his love. One day I will see him on one of those murder shows doing an interview with him and locked in jail for killing my sister.
Ashley believes her sister Caroline is trapped in a dangerous marriage and wants her to get out before it's too late. But Caroline says she's not ready to throw in the towel just yet.
After fights, Sonny always made me feel like it was my fault because I would fight back with him. Every time after I fight with Sonny, he tells me that he's sorry and that it'll never happen again. I believe that I needed to work harder to make everything work between us.
I'd asked Caroline plenty of times to leave him. My parents had begged her to go to a shelter, and she just kept going back.
I was afraid to leave the marriage because we had just gotten married, and I didn't want to have a baby by myself again. I raised my oldest daughter by myself, and I didn't want this baby to be without.
Sonny degrades me and calls me horrible names like bitch and gross and fat. I feel like it's my fault because I didn't lose weight after the baby.
Even after Sonny has abused me and slept with my sister, I want to do whatever it takes to make our marriage work.
Do you want this marriage to work?
A part of me does.
Do you want the marriage to work?
I did.
But now you don't?
No.
And what is it about what she said or they said that makes you not want to make it work?
I thought there was a chance that we could live through this. You know, we could work through this, and just knowing that there's no way that Ashley can be removed from the picture as far as being the husband in our marriage, there's never going to be a marriage between me and Caroline.
Well, what is your ownership in this situation? You said to me at the break, why am I the bad guy here?
No, I believe that I am the bad guy in me and my wife's marriage. But right now, I just feel like the show is just making it to where, you know, Sonny's this, Sonny's that, Sonny's this, and Caroline should leave him for this, Caroline should leave him for that. And there's no Sonny's perception of things. Tell me what you need to have to balance this out right now. The floor is yours. It goes both ways. It doesn't just show, it shows Caroline just saying, he calls me this, he calls me that, he does this, he does that. It goes both ways. It's not just me saying, you know, you're fat, you're ugly, you're a bitch, you know? It's not just that. It's more than that. It's her saying, you're being such an A word right now, and with other profanity words. And then I'm like, well, you're being this. You guys paint me as a bad person. You think I'm a psychopath. You think I'm a lying, cheating bastard.
I know that's not who you are. I just don't know what happened to you. But let's not walk away from each other or fight or hurt each other, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it for us to keep doing this to each other, and it's certainly not worth it for the kids to see this, because they're two little girls and then they're gonna want to have a relationship like this. Do you want someone to do that to them? Because I know I don't, and I already see it with our older one, and that scares the crap out of me because they're so precious. Like, why do they have to see this?
Shouldn't.
The dynamic of what's going on here is so clear. It is in flashing red lights. I'm going to turn those on and connect the dots right after the break. The first thing I'm going to do is, Ashley, I'm going to excuse you, because I'm going to talk to this couple about their marriage. I thank you very much for being here and shedding your light on all of this. And I certainly hope you two work to repair your relationship and the breach of trust that's here, because I think that's very important. But I thank you for coming. You can go right down this way here, and they'll show you straight out. I have excused Ashley here because this is between you two. It's not between the three of you. You need to listen with both ears to what I'm getting ready to say, because I'm getting ready to tell you some very important things that you're going to want to listen to several times when you get home. So I'm going to put some verbs in my sentences. I want you to hear them real clearly. I agree with some of the things he's saying. You're playing this game with sweaty palms. You're afraid to stand up for yourself. You're afraid to stake out your position in your ground other than in anger. You get mad, you get angry, and when you do, you get out of control, right? I mean, he's right about that part. This isn't, one log won't burn. The two of you fight. That doesn't justify him getting physical with you, but the only time you express yourself is in anger. You're scared here because you've loved and lost before. And you really don't want that to happen again. Because then you didn't lose once, you've now lost twice, and now you've got two, and you can't hold on to daddy. And that scares you to death, right? What's wrong with me? How do I explain this to them? Doesn't that tape play in your head? And isn't that why you keep putting up with and scared to death this is going to fall apart? Let me tell you, what I fear, I create. And the very thing you fear is the very thing you're creating. You got to have self-respect before you get respect from somebody else. And you got to respect yourself if you're going to command respect from him. It's not about demanding respect, it's about commanding respect. What your sister did, now whether she knew what was going on at the time or not, you can decide whether you believe that or whether you don't. But she knew it afterwards, and she didn't tell you. She lied to you by omission for a month. That's a betrayal. Any way you cut it, that's a betrayal. Do you get that? Yeah. You deserve better treatment from the people in your life. And the only way you're going to get it is when you start giving better treatment to yourself. Sonny, there's a role of the man in the family. You have a job here, and you need to man up and do it. Do not disrespect the mother of your children. Do not disrespect your wife. Do not disrespect yourself as a man by doing things that disrespect the mother of your children and your wife. Because when you say something to her like the things you have said to her, it is at the expense of your character, not hers. You need to learn how to resolve conflict. You need to learn self-esteem and self-worth. You need to learn as a couple to come together and have strength and value each other. You need premarital counseling. You don't need marriage counseling. You need premarital counseling. You don't even know what it's supposed to be. You've got to talk about things like division of labor and how to handle money and sex and jobs and geography and religion and in-laws. In-laws. We got to have some in-law boundaries here. And I will personally make arrangements for y'all to have this, to sit down with y'all to resolve these things and give you a chance to make this work. And if for some reason you decide that it doesn't work, then you will have the foundation to co-parent these children from a position of strength and love. But you are so far from making that decision right now. You haven't been married yet. All you've done is been living under the same roof. You have not been married yet. Give me 90 days. Give me 90 days to really establish a foundation here and then make a decision. Will you do that?
Yes, sir.
I mean, and I mean really work at it. Will you do that? Will you take that help? Will you do that? Will you do that? Okay, and I want y'all to tell us how that turns out, okay? Now, I want to remind everyone out there about Robin's resources at whengeorgiasmile.org. It's called the Aspire Initiative, and it's a free curriculum to educate audiences about domestic violence issues, from prevention to safe exit strategies. And the curriculum provides engaging educational materials and interactive content, such as quizzes to encourage group discussions, and there's a lot to find out. And Robin, this is all free at whengeorgiasmile.org, correct?
Yes, it is. Whengeorgiasmile.org. It's in English and Spanish, and it is free.
All right, and that's where they can find out about the Aspire app also, correct?
Yes, very proud of the Aspire app. It actually was voted in 2014 as one of the 2 best apps for domestic violence prevention on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, so, and it is also free, and it applies no matter who is doing the violence. So we're not pointing fingers here. We're just saying it's in every situation. Yes. So I really want y'all to think about that. And guys, you can so make this better. You can so make this better. But remember, I said every situation meets a hero. Let it be you. Decide you're going to lead this family right straight where it needs to go. I want to thank all of my guests today. If you're living in a toxic relationship and can't seem to dig your way out, go to drphil.com and I'll tell you how. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.
Today on Dr. Phil, the baby's no longer hers.
I don't remember signing any adoption papers.
Now, the adoptive parents.
Do you remember writing, it's like she was meant to be theirs?
I don't remember saying that.
Claim she's harassing them.
You told me I could see my daughter.
I can't even be in the same room with you, young lady. How do you think you're going to be in my child's life?
Okay, but...
There is no okay, but. You just need to say okay. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
How are you? Hey guys. You know, 2 women are in a tug-of-war over a toddler today and have asked me to help sort out what is actually an adoption nightmare. They say it started out peacefully when 22-year-old Kristen decided to place her baby with ex-stepfather Adam and his new wife Stacy. Now, Kristen appeared to be very proud of her decision by posting it all over social media. She wrote, quote, "I have a great opportunity to give my baby a wonderful life with wonderful parents and also to make my life better. I will always love her and I am not abandoning her." But now that Kristen is pregnant with her second child, things have changed dramatically. And she says she wants Stacy and Adam to hand over her 2-year-old daughter, who she hasn't seen since birth.
My child was stolen from me from my stepdad and his new wife. Stacy is demanding, evil, manipulative, and very, very psychotic. I believe that she probably needs to be on medication. Stacy terrifies me. I don't remember signing any adoption papers for my daughter. I was supposed to be present when the adoption was finalized. Nobody called me. No one told me anything. I believe it was illegal. I do have suspicion that they drugged me. I don't remember much of my pregnancy, and before that, my memory was great. Stacy did everything that she could to control my stepdad to get my baby. I want my child back. I need my little girl in my life.
Stacy says they did everything by the book. She says Kristen never wanted this baby in the first place.
Kristen was 7 years old when I first met her. Right away I knew that she was a handful. She told lies and was always getting in trouble at school. It seemed like it was just one thing after another. When I first heard about Kristen's pregnancy, the first thought that came to mind was, how is she going to take care of this child? Because Kristen had no job. She bounced from house to house. She wasn't married. And I didn't think a child deserved to be put through that.
Kristen never acted like she wanted to see the baby whatsoever. Kristen, you made it clear to the nurses and the doctor, she did not want her child laid on her once it was born. She did not want to see or touch the baby. After the baby's birth, Kristen only laid eyes on the child maybe 2 times, and that was by Kristen's own choice.
It was clear to Kristen from the first time we talked to the lawyer about adoption that it was a closed adoption. She's got a victim mentality. She takes no responsibility for her actions. Kristen was not manipulated by me and Stacy, and she knows that.
Kristen needs to understand that she's no longer this baby's parent. Kristen's favorite thing to do is call us evil and bad people. If we're so evil and we're so bad, why did you choose us to adopt your child?
But Kristen says she believes Stacy and Adam drugged her because she says she has no recollection of signing any adoption papers.
Our adoption was a very thorough, very legal adoption. We followed everything that our attorney told us to do. Kristen was provided copies of all the paperwork at the time that she signed them.
I don't actually remember signing any adoption papers for my daughter.
She brought them home with her. What she did with them after that, I do not know.
I think they were read to me, but I don't remember. And I don't have any copies of the adoption papers.
Kristen's standard cop-out line is, I don't know, I don't remember, or I didn't do it.
I don't remember anything.
Kristen thinks everybody's stupid. She thinks everybody believes her lies.
It's always been well established in Kristen's history that if she knows there's negative consequences to one of her actions, even if you watched her do it, she will flat-footed look at you straight in your eyes and tell you, I didn't do that. After being threatened and being harassed, why on earth would I allow anyone like that near my child?
At this point, the child in question is how old?
2.
2. Adopted by the 2 of you.
Yes, sir.
Living in your home now. Healthy?
Yes, sir.
Happy?
Yes, sir.
But you haven't seen pictures, correct?
No, sir, I have not.
And you haven't had any contact with the baby?
No.
And why is that?
They don't want me to see her.
But now you did place this child for adoption, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you did place the child for adoption with Stacy and Adam?
Yes.
And did you do so voluntarily?
I don't remember. I don't think that it was me. I don't feel like that I was aware of my actions at the time because I don't remember very much of it.
This happened across a series of weeks and months when you actually were living with them in their home, correct?
Yes.
At first, they were just there supporting you at the time, giving you a place to stay.
Yes.
And they said they would help you.
Yes.
Right? What did they say?
First, they said they would help me with the baby. At first, there wasn't any adoption mentioned. And then, they offered to do temporary custody so I could get on my feet, go to school and get on my feet. And then it went to adoption, just flat out. They said they couldn't afford to take care of me and the baby. And then...
This is all prior to birth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I immediately was standoffish about the whole adoption. I didn't feel like that. I wanted to raise my own child. So They convinced me that it would be best, and at the time I didn't have means to take care of her.
Right. And you basically feel like they kind of seduced you into this?
Yes.
But you say you don't have much memory of it.
No.
Why?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. None of it does. Looking back on it, I just, it's really hard for me to remember. And it's very scary. So I don't know why I can't remember. I don't even know why I would have agreed to the adoption.
When they first said that it would take temporary custody of the baby, did you feel okay about that?
No, I thought, after thinking about it a while, I thought it might be okay because I just didn't have the means to take care of her. So I thought that if they're willing to help me, then that would be wonderful.
And then how did it come up about the adoption? It actually went from temporary to we're just going to adopt the baby completely.
Yes. I don't know exactly what led to the adoption. I think that they just wanted another child.
Do you recall talking to attorneys about it?
Not at that time, no. Later in my pregnancy, I did talk to one attorney. And
so during the pregnancy, you do recall talking to an attorney about it?
Mm-hmm.
And you were told that you would be able to see the baby?
Yes.
And be part of the baby's life?
Yes.
But did you understand that this was a closed adoption?
No, the word closed adoptions, if they were mentioned, I don't remember.
Okay. Did you two get this young mother into your home and drug her and seduce her into signing her baby over to you?
No, sir. Absolutely not.
Did you get her into your home and isolate her from friends and family and drug her and seduce her until she signed away her baby?
Absolutely not.
No,
Why?
sir.
We were helping this young woman before she ever became pregnant.
Yes, that is correct.
We did not bring her into our home when she was pregnant. We were helping her before she ever got pregnant.
Yes, that
This memory loss that she's talking about, did you give her drugs?
Why?
No, sir.
If we wanted this child so much, why would we drug its mother? We were drugging
I
our
didn't ask you
child's
why.
head.
I asked you if.
No, we absolutely did not.
Did you give her drugs?
No.
Did you give her any kind of substances at all to affect her memory to the point that she was in an altered state of consciousness and signed away her child?
Absolutely not.
Then why don't
She
I
never
remember?
laid pen to any piece of paper, and it was made sure by the attorney until after 24 hours after she gave birth. We were not even in her room or present when she signed her adoption papers.
Did you ever threaten her if she didn't turn this baby over to you that you would do bad things to her? Did you
No.
threaten her in any way?
Not at all.
So you never said that you would make sure she was taken away from me?
No.
When we were up in my bedroom.
You can remember that conversation, but you can't remember signing an adoption paper.
That's what makes no sense.
You can remember
to me.
these conversations, but you can't remember signing papers. Over the course of 3 or 4 months, it wasn't one signature. She signed several papers.
The only papers that I know that I signed, like I said, no memory of them, but the only two that I know were the pre-first surrender and the adoption papers. That's all that I know for sure that I signed.
Well, those are pretty significant papers
Well,
that
yes,
you
yes.
remember
You just
signing.
said you
He's
didn't
saying
remember
there's more
signing
than
any
that.
papers. You
I
just said you
don't.
didn't remember signing any papers.
I don't, but I do know that this is what you guys told me that I signed. I was never comfortable with the adoption. I was just very scared at the time, very scared. I didn't feel like they were giving me much of a choice.
Well, let's take a break. Coming up, Kristen says she told Stacy and Adam several times that she did not want to give up her baby. So how did the child end up in their hands? Well, we're going to find out when we come back. At the time the baby was born, you say, she's with her mommy and daddy now. It doesn't hurt like I thought.
I don't remember saying that. Obviously, I did.
Well, why obviously? If you don't remember it, how do you know that she didn't write these things?
Kristen cannot take care of a child, period. Kristen has no job, no home, no car, no husband. Kristen has no means of taking care of a child whatsoever.
Kristen is an unfit mother. I just think it's pretty selfish for anybody to have a child where you can't even take care of them.
Kristen's been in trouble with the police multiple times.
Kristen's living in a fantasy world. She thinks it's all fun and games with a child, but it's not.
22-year-old Kristen says she was manipulated into placing her baby 2 years ago with her ex-stepfather Adam and his new wife Stacy. Now, Adam says Kristen was always a troubled child and thought there was no way she could raise this baby. Now, you know, one of the things I try to do when I'm trying to figure out in a he said, she said situation, I always try to look back and see what people said then versus what they're saying now. And so with regard to both sides, I try to look back and see. Now, after Kristen gave birth, she posted this comment about the baby. Now, I want you to look not just at what she says, but also her stream of consciousness. Does she seem confused? Does she seem like she's having trouble forming sentences or whatever? She says, weird. She doesn't even feel like mine at all. I hope that doesn't make me sound terrible, but it's like she was meant to be theirs. Smiley face. Now that's something you said then. Here are some of Kristen's posts regarding her adoption decision. She's with her mommy and daddy now, and it doesn't hurt like I thought. If some people can't respect me and my decisions, then I don't want them in my life. I'm sorry, but I know what I'm doing, and whether you agree with it or not, you shouldn't try to change my mind. That is not a real friend. Okay, and then just this past January, just want to set something straight. 2 years ago, when I decided to let these horrible people adopt my daughter, I wasn't being selfish. I was doing what I thought was best. They have tried numerous times to ruin my life. Okay, now, let's go back to the things you were saying at the time the baby was born. At the time the baby was born, you say, weird, she doesn't even feel like mine at all. I hope that doesn't make me sound terrible. You say, she's with her mommy and daddy now. It doesn't hurt like I thought. It's, that A sounds, you know, very coherent in thought. You sound very convicted and clear in what you were saying. You don't sound conflicted or ambivalent at all about your feelings at the time. But yet you describe yourself as confused and conflicted, seduced and coerced. But yet this is what you wrote at the time.
Yeah.
That's not how you're now describing your state of mind.
At the time, I don't remember posting those. I
You don't remember doing it?
No, I don't. I don't remember saying that. Obviously, I did. I know, but the whole time, I was trying to justify everything, and of course, I had Stacy and Adam telling me this is the right thing, and constantly, over and over, it was like their voice. Like they were convincing me of these things that this is what I wanted. It felt like I had to justify it somehow. And I felt like the only way I could do that is to remove myself emotionally.
So you're saying that these writings would be a product of you being, in lay terms, brainwashed, and you would be saying these things to justify or validate your actions, to try to reconcile those things within yourselves so you wouldn't feel so conflicted about it.
Yes, definitely, yes.
So you were trying to say these things to soothe yourself and reconcile your actions with your feelings. Okay? And you don't remember sitting down and typing these things out?
No, sir, no.
Do you doubt that you did?
No, obviously I did.
Well, why obviously? If you don't remember it, how do you know that she didn't write these things?
That could have been possible also, but because they're on my page, I don't see why I couldn't have. Because I know how
Do you remember writing These Horrible People one?
Yes.
You remember that one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And you said, just want to set something straight. 2 years ago when I decided to let these horrible people adopt my daughter, I wasn't being selfish. When did they become horrible people? Were they horrible people when you were living there and you were feeling uncomfortable? Did you know then they were horrible people, or did they become horrible people after they wouldn't let you see the baby?
No, I didn't at the time. No, I didn't think they were horrible people.
After the baby was born. When you were discharged, where did you go?
Back to Stacey and Adams.
Kristen was gone for about a week and a half.
No.
And when she did show back up, she was black and blue.
When the baby was born, did you hold the baby?
I've been told that I did, but
I'm sorry?
I've been told that I did, but I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you know, were they in the room when the baby was born?
Yes.
These two were in the room when the baby was
Yes.
born? Were you two in the room when the baby was born?
Yes, sir.
And then did you leave thereafter?
With the baby.
With the baby to the nursery or where?
The nursery, and then we had our own room with the baby.
Then you had your own room?
Yes, sir. So she was
Okay.
alone.
And you were not allowed to sign papers until 24 hours after the baby was born, correct?
That's what we discussed, yes.
So there was a cooling off period there where you had an opportunity.
That, I don't remember anything after a certain point. Like, a friend of mine was in the room. I know what she has told me. But as far as the actual being there, I don't remember. Like,
When you
I feel like I wasn't there because it wasn't. It's so hard to remember things like that. And
when you
after that,
actually signed the papers after 24 hours, were they in the room?
I don't know.
We were not allowed to be in the room.
Well, I understand the law. You're not allowed to be there. You were alone when you signed the papers. They're not permitted to be there. And by
I don't even know.
hospital-
This is the first time I'm hearing these rules, but no, I don't remember. I don't remember being, if they, I don't know who was in the room.
Okay, and when you were discharged from the hospital, how long were you in the hospital before you were discharged?
We checked in Friday night.
After the baby was born. How long were you there after the baby was born?
24 hours.
Okay, and when you were discharged, where did you go?
Back to Stacey and Adams.
So when you were discharged, you went to their home. And how long were you there residing at their home?
I know that I left permanently a week after she was born.
A week after
Yeah,
she was born?
that's how I remember it, yes.
And is that when you say she dumped you at a shelter?
Yes.
Was that a week later?
No, sir.
How long was it? How long was she there before she
Well-
relocated?
The hospital social worker and our attorney advised us not to take her home with us from the hospital. And I couldn't do that to her. She had nowhere to go. How
Yeah,
could
I
I
was not
take
aware
this
of
baby and leave her?
Because this was a closed adoption.
Yes, sir.
And so
And
they said, you
Just
should
leave
take the
her
baby
here
and
and
not
take
her.
the baby and go home. And I would refused. We brought her home with us. She had Christmas with us. Christmas Day, she got up and had just as many gifts under our tree as our children did. She had Christmas at our home.
Which I was
we
not,
went to.
I did not receive those after I moved out. Some of my stuff was left there, and when I went back to get it, none of the gifts were in there.
Okay, but she was there for Christmas.
She was there for Christmas. She participated in family Christmas the next day at Adam's parents' home. Then she approached us and wanted to go to her friend's house for New Year's Eve. We told her, okay, you just gave birth. Please be careful. She left our home and went with this friend. And she was supposed to only be gone a night or two, and then she was supposed to come back. Kristen was gone for about a week and a half.
No, I wasn't.
And when she did show back up, she was black and blue, covered in bruises. And we had other small children in our home, and we explained to her, they cannot see you this way. They cannot see you in this condition. Go to your room, stay there until we figure out what to do. Kristen refused. Kristen would go to her room, she'd come out, she made sure her baby brother saw her in that condition. Then we had to explain that to these children, what's going on, why is Kristen looking that way? Then things escalated with her attitude and just the things that were going on in our home.
The way I remember it, I left
when
the
she
day
was
I
asked
came back.
to leave our home.
That day, it was late at night, but that day, I remember leaving.
Well, I thought you couldn't remember anything.
That's what I don't understand. I remember little things. Like, I can remember, like, maybe one part, and then the next 5 minutes, I don't remember. It's very, very
much likes to remember what Kristen wants to
All
remember.
right, well, let's take a break. Coming up, Kristen says she never signed any paperwork and doesn't have any legal proof of this adoption. Plus, Kristen says Stacy knows what it's like to give up a child. We'll find out what she means by that after the break.
Stacy had a little boy that she gave up for adoption because she said that she couldn't care for him. I heard Stacy gave her son away for drugs. I think that she is mentally unstable. I think she loves destroying people's lives. Stacy has 4 biological kids. Her 3 girls, they lived with their grandparents. Her son was adopted when he was born years ago. I heard Stacy gave her son away for drugs. I believe that the fact that her biological children don't live with her is either she's a bad mom or she doesn't want them. I'm really concerned about how she treats my daughter. I think she loves destroying people's lives.
Well, 2 years ago, Kristen says she was manipulated by her ex-stepfather, Adam, and his new wife, Stacy, into placing her baby girl with them immediately after she was born. She says they promised she could be in her baby's life and do things like attend birthday parties, holidays, and first day of school. But Kristen says she hasn't seen her baby since January of 2013, a week after the baby was born, and now she wants to be in her baby's life. Now, you say you haven't seen the adoption papers.
No.
And you don't remember signing them.
No, I don't.
Do you doubt that you signed them?
No, I don't doubt it. But the memory of signing them, I do not have.
Well, Kristen says she doesn't remember signing any paperwork, but I do have a binder with adoption paperwork that Stacy did provide us. And I want to take a look at the signature and the initials. And, you know, the signature on the left is your signature that appeared on the adoption papers, and the signature on the right is the signature that you signed on our paperwork when you agreed to be on the show. And, you know, I'm not an expert, but, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they definitely.
Looks pretty much like the same.
Yeah, it does. I just don't remember signing it.
She likes to say that we threw her out of the house as soon as the adoption was final. She left our home January 2013. The adoption was not final until March 2013. So that is not true.
I was aware that it was final.
It wasn't until
immediately.
March 20, the date's on the papers there.
Right.
Yeah, I was aware. I was told it was final immediately, that I had
Kristen
no.
has contacted the attorney that did the adoption, requiring and requesting the papers from her. But when the adoption attorney told her there was a fee for those papers, there was never another request made for them. So
Because
she
at the
was well
time,
aware
I
of
could not come up-
who
I
did
could not
the
afford it.
adoption. If she
You don't
can't
have
remember
$25,
it, how does
but you're
she
about to
know?
raise a child.
Okay, now
Really?
but this is a closed adoption,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
And you, the papers you signed say it's a closed adoption, which means they are under no obligation for you to have any contact with the baby whatsoever.
I'm sure that's the case, but I know for a fact that it was called a family adoption, basically. There was no words of open or closed adoptions.
I treated Kristen like my child. I cared for her. I explained to her multiple times, driving even to the shelter, that she was not removed from our lives. I begged her, I said, Kristen, please don't do anything to make us have to cut you out of our lives, because when we do, that means you're not going to be around the baby too.
So what did
I told you, did I not tell you that? I said, Kristen, don't cause drama, didn't I? I said, please don't make me cut you out this baby's life, didn't I?
Yes.
I told you that.
But what did I do?
Yes.
What drama did I cause?
Tell me, when someone begins calling attorneys behind your back, when someone starts calling you a horrible person and speaking about your past that I shared with you to help you, when that happens, how would you let that person in your home? How?
I defended you even after I left your home.
When you try to speak to her, you can't get through to her. I tried for almost a year to get through to her. All I wanted was for her to get a better life. I helped her, made sure she got her GED, made sure that she was safe. If we were hiding her and keeping her, why was she with her aunt? How did she have such easy access to social media, telephone? She had her own cell phone. If she wanted to make a phone call, Dr. Phil, this young woman was free to do so.
I didn't feel
completely
that way,
free.
No, I didn't feel that way.
And you said you found a drug pipe.
Yeah, in one of her shoes in her home. That's what resulted in her having to leave our home.
When I asked you what this drug pipe looked like, you never told me. And that
You
was
were standing there. Why do I need to tell you what
I
it
was
looked
not.
like?
This was over text messages.
No, ma'am.
Yes,
you
it
were
was.
in our home and you knew that's why you left her home.
No, it was not. No.
Coming up, Kristen is pregnant again. What's the future with this baby? We're going to talk about that coming up.
I found out Adam was having an affair when my mom called me and told me I didn't like Stacy at all. She was married 8 times. She cheated on every one of her ex-husbands, and 3 of the times it was with the same man. I remember her telling me she had been on drugs. She is mentally unstable. Stacy had a plan, and what she wanted was everything my mom had. She wanted Adam, the house they lived in, and then my daughter.
Today, my guests say they are at war over a 2-year-old little girl. Kristen says she doesn't remember signing any adoption papers, placing her baby with Adam and Stacy, but they say they have the adoption papers to prove it. They said they've done this by the book, that they went to great pains to make sure they crossed the T's and dotted the I's. Kristen says she wants to be in her daughter's life, but they won't allow it. Okay, so you're saying you're getting frozen out completely from your family.
Yes.
Your daughter and now your brothers.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
So what's going on here?
Well, Stacy hasn't done anything. I have. I have to do what's right for my sons. I have to protect them. So to say Stacy's doing it all is crazy. I have to do what's right for them.
That's what.
And if that means
you don't say anything.
What?
You don't say anything.
What do you mean I don't say
She
anything?
speaks for you.
I'm speaking for myself right now.
And
just because I don't run my mouth all the time doesn't mean I can't think for myself.
Did you tell Stacy that you got pregnant originally just because you wanted to see what it felt like to be pregnant?
No. No. My pregnancy was a complete accident.
Where's the father for the baby now?
I have no idea.
Did you say that Stacy has threatened to have this baby taken away from you?
She's not actually said it in those words, no, but she has, yeah, I believe that's what she wants.
If you had your daughter back now, would you have the ability to provide for this child?
If I had her the whole time since she was born, yes, I would have made sure I had a way to
No,
provide
today,
her.
right now.
If I, yeah.
Snap the fingers, you had this child.
No, I wouldn't, not right, no. But I'm not asking for her back. If she is,
well,
if
you
she's
vacillate
happy,
on that. You say on the one hand you want this child back, and on the other hand you say you just want your rights.
Yes, I would love to be able to raise my daughter. But if she's happy and healthy, I don't want to remove her from what she knows.
What are we doing here?
She loves. You told me I could see my daughter. I have not seen her. That's what I'm doing
because of
here.
how you act.
If I can't even be in the same room with you, young lady, how in the world do you think you're going to be in my child's life?
We got along
How?
just fine living together.
Exactly.
Okay, why
And then-
can't we
Because when you
be
left my
civil
home,
about this?
you changed.
No, I did not.
Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to ask Kristen, bottom line, what her goals are when we come back. And we're going to get very specific about what I think they should be. We'll be right back.
During the time that Kristen lived in my home, I took on the role of Kristen's mother. I cleaned up after her, cooked for her, provided her clothing. I took care of getting her back and forth to a doctor. I saw to it that her legal issues were taken care of. I did everything that I could possibly do to help Kristen prior to her becoming pregnant and after she had had the baby. The depth of the betrayal that I feel at her behavior is very painful.
I told her that Kristen was like a rattlesnake. She'd bite you. And it happened.
Knowing that I gave up my child tears me apart. It's very hard for me to understand why I can't have my little girl. Even before she was born, I knew I wanted a baby. And the fact that I don't remember even what she looks like, it kills me.
Kristen only laid eyes on the child maybe 2 times a month because the rest of the time she was either sleeping or not home. She thought that she would continue to live in our home and lay around and play with the baby once in a while. It was quite evident that Kristen was going to slide right back into her old habits.
Well, it's been about 2 years since Kristen has seen the child she gave birth to, after she says she reluctantly placed her for adoption with her ex-stepdad and his wife, Stacy. She says she doesn't remember signing over this baby to them. She says she wants her daughter in her life. Also joining us in this conversation is Sunny Hostin. She is a former assistant U.S. attorney. She's a CNN legal analyst, a good friend of mine, and a friend of the show here. So, Sunny, you've been listening to everything.
I have.
Every step of the way. Does she have legal options open to her at this point?
You don't. And I've reviewed not only these documents, I reviewed the law in the state. I've listened all morning. The bottom line, Kristen, is that this decision that you made is binding. This was a final adoption, and it was done legally. You don't have a challenge to this adoption. That is over. What I'm hearing from you is regret. I'm hearing from you remorse, but I'm not hearing any legal standing to challenge this adoption.
They told me I could see her, and I have not. I was never under the impression there was a closed adoption.
Well, let me say this, because I looked at the documents. It was a closed adoption.
Let me shift out of legal to common sense here, because let me just kind of put the common sense hat on here. If I'm sitting here as a parent and I say, okay, here are my options. Okay, A, I've got someone out here that is bad-mouthing me, calling me horrible people, calling me liars, calling me manipulators, putting all kinds of negative energy on me and about me out there. I can give them access to my home and family, or B, not.
Yeah. I understand that.
Let me see.
But
That's
I've
not
said
even a
things out of
close
pain.
call. You said, why are you putting me through that? You are putting yourself through that. No, listen. Don't play the victim here. Listen, I'm not. You need to hear me, because there is a solution here for you, but you're putting yourself through that. You're not the victim here. You are the one that is introducing the drama and the negativity here. And if I am a parent and I'm sitting here and I'm saying, I've got this toxic factor out here and I can let them into my life or not, the answer is going to be not. And so the solution for you is, you say, well, I'm doing this out of pain. then deal with your pain. But as long as you're introducing drama into my family, the door is going to remain closed. It's that simple. There's good news and bad news. The good news is that the solution is you. The bad news is the solution is you. It's all about you. Yeah. You can change this. You have to stop being toxic, and then you have a chance to become a factor. But at this point, it's not even a close call. This is just the reality. I'm sorry that it's not fair, but here's the problem. They don't have to get along with you. You do have to get along with them.
And I would.
That's just the reality, but you're not.
Because
so you
that's
need
how
to...
they're making that, because they treat me this way. So I'm being defensive. That's...
Stop. Stop being defensive. If you want what you want, then stop doing what you're doing.
Okay, but...
There's no you keep saying, okay, but. No. There is no but. There is no but. You keep saying, okay, but, okay, but, hell. You just need to say, okay.
Under the law, I have children, and I know it may be upsetting to you, but they get to choose who is around their child. And that, at this point, in their minds, cannot be you.
I don't want to hurt you. You look at me. I don't want to hurt you. I've known you since you were 7 years old. And it hurts me to see you sitting there crying like that. I just want what's best for you, and what's best for that baby you're about to have. I think you know that little girl I would give my life for, don't you? You know I would.
You know that.
And you need to believe me when I say Stacy would do the same thing. You know she's taken care of.
I do believe that. I couldn't, I would go crazy thinking about it if I didn't believe that you treated her right. But I always have that fear because she did comfort me, that you would treat her different. But
that little girl is the center of our world. You can believe that.
The reality is that the only hope is for you to get healthy and stable, and right now you have an immediate horizon in front of you that's getting closer and closer and closer, and you need to focus on that.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. I want to thank all of my guests today. Really special thanks to Sunny Hostin. For more information about this show, log on to drphil.com. You can use hashtag DrPhil, hashtag adoption conflict. Join the conversation. So long. Hopefully this will put a lid on all of this. Take care of this one, man. Sunny.
Today on Dr. Phil.
Chris is a pathological liar. Chris said he was a pilot buying a $500,000 house.
A life of deception.
Did he accuse you of kidnapping your child?
Yeah.
I wanted my son. He may have fooled others.
I made a list of his lies.
But has he met his match?
What did you decide was the best way to play me?
I don't like the fact that you're telling...
I don't expect you to like it. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
In 5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Go, Dr. Phil.
Thank you. Well, this is Chris. He's 27. And according to him, he's already led a pretty impressive life. He's been an airline pilot, has made up to $12,000 a month working for a luxury car dealership, and his friends have been among the social elite. He claims to be an active and loving father to his 2-year-old son and is proactive in his marriage to his lovely wife, Melissa. In fact, he even went to therapy, and his therapist said, quote, he is going to be a great husband, provider, and spiritual leader. Sounds like a pretty stand-up guy, right? I mean, come on. Well, not according to his wife, Melissa, who claims Chris is, in fact, a pathological liar. And all of these things he has claimed are simply not true. Melissa is desperate to get help because she's now 16 weeks pregnant with their second child, so she says time is of the essence. Is Chris making up these elaborate lies? If he is he going to tell the truth today? Has he been honest with us so far? Well, I have it on good authority that he has been watching episodes of the Dr. Phil show. He has been studying me for days on end, every day, all day, to get ready to deal with me. So here we go. But before we meet Chris, let's hear what Melissa has to say.
Chris is a pathological liar. If I could guess how many times Chris has lied to me over 5 years, you would laugh. There's no number. Literally, insanely, every day, all day. Chris will lie about the most ridiculous things, from if he even brushed his teeth today and what he ate for lunch. And some of the lies are very serious. One of the bigger lies that Chris has told is a very elaborate story. He walked into a real estate office into this beautiful, luxurious community, told them that he was a pilot, and we were very interested in buying the Manchester model. Told them that we had already been approved for a loan, and this was over a $500,000 house, and it was just a made-up story. Another lie was when he got fired. This was his most recent job. There was a period where I didn't even know that he had lost his job. I found out after the fact. He was literally gone all day long, hanging out at the grocery store the whole time. I believe that Chris is a full-blown sociopath. Chris will make you believe that he has remorse. Chris lies about having remorse. In the beginning of our relationship, I was so smitten by our chemistry. He's a good-looking guy. He was very fit, and I never dated those type of people. There's so many red flags in the beginning, but I was very oblivious. Love is blind. Because of Chris's lies, we've separated. I am in a very scary, vicious cycle with him because I just get sucked in. I can't get out. He has me convinced even right now that he is going to change. I'm already in my mind thinking that he has the capability of doing it.
Well, Melissa says lying isn't Chris's only problem. In the 5 years she's known him, she says he struggled to hold down a job and has resorted to stealing money from her.
I have supported Chris 100%. He's probably had a total of maybe 5 jobs in 5 years. And the average length of a job lasted maybe 3 to 4 months. I have been the only one that's kept a stable job. I have always been the one paying the bills, keeping our roof over the head, keeping food in our tummies, you name it. After we got married, things got worse. Chris would write checks in his name and cash them and get money fraudulently. Because Chris has taken so much money, I've had to cancel numerous accounts. One time, I woke up about ready to pay some bills. My account was down to 90 cents. 90 cents to a mother of 2 kids, not paying my rent yet, bills being due. I still didn't leave him at that point. You would think at that point I would have said, get out.
Well, Chris admits that he has a problem with lying since he was just a kid, but he says if it wasn't for Melissa's Hulk-like temper, he would probably own up to his lies a lot faster. So really, in a sense, this is her fault.
My wife, Melissa, doesn't believe a word I say. I've lied about basically everything with her. I say it, it comes out, and then I just kind of forget it. Melissa has a temper. She yells with so many situations, and she's just so angry, you know, like really angry, like Hulk. She's hit me in the face, slap first time, slap second time, and then punched this the last time. If she would just sit down and say, look, Chris, did you lie to me about this? Instead of just going right for the cutthroat, samurai sword, cut my head off, maneuver, you know, it would be, you know what, yeah, I did, I'm sorry. So yeah, if she did, you know, just sit down and talk to me instead of yelling, it would help. I do not blame Melissa for not trusting me. It's been my fault. Ultimately, I want Melissa to be proud of me. I want her to respect me and to be her Prince Charming. Bam.
Okay. So what's your strategy in being here today?
To get the right help that I need and move forward with my relationship with Melissa and family.
No, that's your goal. What's
Right.
your strategy?
Strategy.
Everybody comes into a situation and they have a strategy about how to play that situation. You studied me. What'd you come away with? What'd you decide was the best way to play me?
No way. No way.
Well, the good news is I don't have a lot to say to you.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
On the other hand, I have a lot to say to you.
I'm sure.
What the hell are you thinking?
I knew you were going to say that.
What? No, what? Seriously? Seriously?
Yeah.
This guy's been lying to you from day one, minute one, right? Yeah. I kind of made a list.
Yeah. I'm sure you have.
He lied about affluent social connections, right? Lied about how much money he had. He gets fired from all these jobs, and he has all these excuses, yes, right?
Many.
You decided when you got married this would fix it all, right?
I thought so, yeah. He
You
kept
thought,
telling me.
okay, what I have here is a pathological liar.
Yeah.
Apparently has no empathy for anyone. It's just only his feelings matter. But if I go to the courthouse and get some paperwork on him, that will fix it all.
Yeah.
What's a marriage license, $2?
I have no idea. I didn't
If you
check
could
my-
fix this for $2, wouldn't that put me out of business?
Right? Fix it
I
all.
go to the courthouse and get a marriage license,
Yeah.
Dr. Phil's out of business.
That's true.
And you got pregnant.
We already had, he was 6 months old at that point.
Right. And then you got pregnant again.
I am now pregnant.
Y'all do understand how this...
Oh yeah, we were using protection somehow one night. It didn't
happen.
We had a couple drinks. He didn't use a condom like we were supposed to.
You think he did that on purpose?
I honestly, yes.
He's lied to you about jobs that he didn't really have.
Right.
But he would make you think he had a job.
Oh yeah.
But where was he going?
So he would just go hang out at the market all day.
At the market?
The grocery store. That's what he told me.
What do you mean you hang out at the grocery store?
No, I mean, yeah, I did go to the grocery store. Or
Oh,
I
I'm
went
an
to the
airline
mall.
pilot. I'm flying to Atlanta. Oh, I'm actually in the produce section? What the hell? Did this not...
Oh, it all registered at this point.
Were you tasered by the police?
No.
You said that you were tasered by the police. Yeah. You weren't tasered?
Nope.
You should be really glad I don't have a taser now. Coming up, Melissa says one of the greatest lies Chris ever told her arrived in her email inbox. So what did he send? You're going to find out after the break.
One of the best lies was a fake email coming from a licensed counselor telling me he was helping Chris be a better man, husband, father. When I confronted Chris, he denied and denied and denied. When Chris found out we were coming on the Dr. Phil show, he's basically been watching Dr. Phil show all day long, reading up on everything he can on Dr. Phil to try to get to know how Dr. Phil works, like what's his ways of talking.
How can you not know what the problem is?
So he can come on the show and be charismatic, be exactly what he's supposed to do and say, so he is not in any way, shape, or form going to be called out as the person that we all know him to be. After watching Dr. Phil myself, I want to believe that he's not going to be fooled by Chris, but then there's that little bit of me that wonders, well, maybe he will be fooled by Chris because Chris is just so good.
Well, Melissa says her husband Chris is a deceitful, manipulative, pathological liar who can't hold a job, although he does pretend to go to work. Now, Chris admits he has told so many lies, he can't even remember all of them. Well, Melissa says there's one lie that she will never forget. It arrived by way of email. Let's see if Chris remembers this one.
One of the best lies that Chris has ever told me came in a form of an email. It was a fake email coming from a licensed counselor that is an actual person telling me that Chris has been seeing him for weeks now and that he was really making some great progress. I realized very quickly that this was Christopher writing me. Chris has a punctuation problem. He always puts a space after a sentence. He has horrible grammar. And then I looked up the guy's name and he spelled the name wrong. Melissa, I am your husband's therapist for the couple of weeks. And as I'm reading, there's things that aren't spelled right. He asked me, email you to give you confirmation that he has been seeing a licensed counselor and helping him overcome his problem and be a better man, husband, father. Christopher has come a long way since counseling with him. I can tell you that his problem can be conquered successfully. I also know that he has reached out to y'all's pastor, using the word y'all's as a professional. Christopher, from what I have learned, has a very big heart, so hold in there. He is doing really well. I have faith in y'all's marriage. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Thanks, with no signature. And notice that he says email him and not call him. When I confronted Chris, he denied and denied and denied, and he finally said, okay, I did it. It's very sloppy work for Chris.
So what was your strategy there on that email?
Well, I was desperate, I guess, to have her back in my life.
When you wrote this out, you say that he wants to be a better man, husband, and father. Now that tells me that you know that should be a goal, or you wouldn't have written that, right?
Right.
So you know that that must be important. Overcome his problem with lying, so you know that must be important. And you go on and say he's come a long way in his counseling. He's very determined. He does want to overcome this issue and to never hurt you, his family, and others around him. You're bringing this up, which tells me you must have, at least intellectually, awareness that that is happening, that you are hurting people. Why did you say that?
That's the truth. I mean, that's why I said
it. You say money is getting tight, but yet you continue to misappropriate funds. You say that it stems from his past, so you're looking for somewhere to lay the blame. You go on to try to motivate her. He's informed me that you're not wanting to move forward because you feel he will not change. You're more than welcome to come and join us, so you're going to run a little bit of a bluff here. Dealing with these types of cases, Chris, is to keep your head up. He is going to be a great husband, provider, and spiritual leader. I mean, you're really trying to mislead her. The problem here is, as she points out, you got a problem with spelling. You got a problem with, the truth is, you're just not a very good liar. Do you usually get away with it? I started to say, be honest. What am I saying?
Can I chime in a little bit on that?
Do you get away with this sometimes?
I mean, I have in the past. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I went through and I made a list of all the lies. It's staggering. But yet, you keep saying, okay, let's start again.
I'm very naive. That's very naive. I want to believe that he can change. Every time he convinces me, he says all the right things. He'll tell me what I want to hear. I'll do this, and it gets convincing, and he knows what to say to me to get me to go, okay, well, that is what I want. So then, okay, so let's focus. And for a couple, maybe a month or two, things will be great. And then all of a sudden, bam.
Next, has Chris been honest with us? He says yes, but wait until I show you what I discovered. Have you been honest with us?
Yeah. I have. Yes, I have. Yes.
You sure about that?
Pretty sure, yeah.
You're pretty sure.
Yeah, I feel like I've been pretty honest with you guys about.
Pretty honest.
Honest, yes, I feel like I have. Yeah. Yes.
There aren't versions of the truth.
Yeah.
We asked you if you had been arrested.
Yeah.
In fact, we asked you several times if you had been arrested. When we asked you if you had been arrested, it was one time your answer was no. Do you have a criminal record? If yes, please describe your record. Your answer, no. Is that true?
I do have a criminal record, yes.
Are these answers true?
No.
Then we did a phone interview with you.
Right.
And we talked about this again. Let's hear this conversation, because as I say, we record these. Let's listen to this phone conversation.
Okay. Have you ever been arrested?
Yeah, I have. I got arrested for driving on a suspended license, and I got arrested twice on driving a suspended driver's license, and one time for marijuana, and one time for I was on a tent cell with a guy, and I got pulled over on the way home. I was on the road doing a tent cell, and one of the guys that rode with me, he had some stuff on him, got pulled over, and we both got the hook on that. That was possession of cocaine, but I believe, as far as I know, that got expunged because I completed everything, and that's pretty much.
Okay, so this was no, but over here you said you actually got arrested 4 times. Twice for suspended license, once for marijuana, and once because you were with the guy that had some cocaine, but you think that got expunged.
Right.
Okay, so forget about this. This is the truth.
Yes.
Well, maybe not. Well, then we talked to you on camera. This was just on the phone, on camera. Let's take a look at this.
I have been arrested.
How many times have you been arrested?
How many times did I say?
I don't know. You didn't, I just asked. Oh, you said I was arrested.
1, 2, 3 times, 4 times.
I've been arrested 4 times.
What do you mean, what did I say?
Because my memory is, I'm bad with memory, and I kind of block that bad side out of my head. I don't like my past.
Well, the good thing about record keeping is you don't have to rely on memory.
Right.
You were arrested for possession of marijuana and alcohol by a person under 21 in 07. You were arrested not for suspended license, but for larceny, theft, and fraud, impersonation, and false ID given. Then you were arrested for driving with suspended license. And then you were arrested for grand theft from a person over 65. So you did have 4 arrests, but they weren't for 2 suspended license and 1 marijuana and 1 cocaine by a friend that got expunged. There was a larceny, theft, and fraud, giving a false ID, and grand theft from a person over 65. You never mentioned the 2 larcenies, theft, and frauds at all, did you?
No.
But I just asked you, as I sat there in that chair, if you were being honest with us since you were here. And you said yes.
Yes.
And that was a lie. You watched a lot of shows, studied me up.
Yeah.
Did you not notice that I do my homework?
Yeah. Yeah.
She may be blinded by love. I am unaffected. Because there was something you said and did at the end of your interview that we did with you that was just 2 seconds that reveals to me your true attitude about this. And here it is.
To be her Prince Charming.
Well, well, shoot, we were at the last question. It wasn't like that. That's like video. Because she was like, I got one more question for you, but I think that was the end. And I was like, it's over. I'm on a camera. Bam. So they got to put that in there.
Bam.
It wasn't put out like that.
Up next, Chris's dad is here. He says things have gotten so bad with his son, he's thought about cutting him out of his life. We're going to meet Dad and Chris's stepmother when we get back.
I don't enable Chris, but I have helped him. And over the years, I would just say, Chris got me again.
Chris and I have a love-hate relationship. I get a little satisfaction out of confronting him, mainly just to knock him down a level to let him know that he's not getting away with it.
Chris has always treated me like an angel. But recently, when I finally decided to leave, he started treating me like I was dirt. He would say I'm a fat-ass, lazy bitch, and just threatened that he was gonna hurt me. He took air out of my tires so I couldn't go anywhere. He threatened to choke me if I would leave, and that night I ended up calling the cops. When I finally left him, my car started acting funny. On the next day, I broke down. Found out that there were wires and other things that were tampered with. I definitely suspect that he was the one that tampered with my car.
Chris admits he has a problem with telling the truth and says he's probably told his wife, Melissa, and family at least 1,000 lies. Chris's dad, Steve, says Chris has been lying since he was a child. Take a look.
My son Chris has been lying for as long as I can remember. And after 27 years, he's perfected his craft. When Chris was 18 years old, he made up like a 5-page contract for a motorcycle team for $180,000 a year. And all this was to impress a girl. A few years ago, Chris said he had a job at a health club. So my wife Karen and I went out and spent like $300 on all these clothes. He got up, got dressed, went to work every day, came home, and in fact, he had no job. At one point, I started my own company, making really great money. I wanted Chris to kind of learn the trade, and I would take him to work. And from day one, he wanted to be the supervisor. I would fire him 2 or 3 times a day, and he would just go sit in the truck and pout. He's never worked hard for anything in his life. I bought Chris probably 5 cars, and my mother's probably bought him 3 cars. I cut Chris off in 2013. He'll still come to me and still try me anyway, but he might get a couple dollars. You know, I'm going to feed him. You know, I'm not going to make sure he's got a roof over his head. I'm not going to leave my child out like that. I don't enable Chris, but I have helped him. And over the years, I would just say, Chris got me again. And it happens time after time. He's good.
Well, Chris's stepmom, Karen, says while she's only known Chris for 6 years, she's caught on to his manipulative behavior right away, and says she actually gets a little satisfaction calling Chris out on his lies. Take a look.
Chris and I have a love-hate relationship. He confides in me when it's concerning his life, like with Melissa, but the hate part comes in because I confront him and don't let him get away with all his lies. I get very frustrated listening to Chris, and I get a little satisfaction out of confronting him, honestly. Mainly just to knock him down a level to let him know that he's not getting away with it. I'm worn out.
Well, Karen, Steve, thank you for joining us. You say that you don't enable him. What do you mean by that?
No, I've enabled him.
throughout his whole life. I mean, I'm sure I have. I say I haven't, but I have.
You know, we always talk about enabling. Enable is an overused word, so much that it's become a buzzword. What it really means is rewarding bad behavior. That's what enable means. Are you seeing him do something bad and you reward it by letting him escape accountability or paying him off in some way for doing it? That's what enable means. And based with that definition, simplified to that point, you have enabled him along the way, right?
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel any guilt at all for any of that?
I haven't, no.
Look, I haven't diagnosed him. It'd be improper for me to do so without doing, you know, a complete workup and everything, but I can tell you what would be on my short list of considerations. One would be narcissistic personality. I mean, take a look, see what you think. You know, Karen, see what you think. These folks tend to have a grandiose sense of self-importance. They want to be supervisors, man. They're preoccupied with fantasies. I'm an airline pilot. Show me that house. They have a belief of being special and unique. They require excessive admiration. They have a sense of entitlement. I don't feel guilty about it. I mean, yeah, give me some money. They're interpersonally exploitive. They'll take advantage of everybody they have access to. They lack empathy. Feel guilty? Nah. They're envious of others, or they believe others are envious of them. And they show arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. Bam! Yeah. I'm just saying, it would be on my short list of considerations. I mean, what do you think? Seem to fit his personality?
To the T.
Despite everything Chris has put Melissa through, she admits she's still paying some of his bills. I'm going to ask her about that, and then I'm going to talk about something that is the dark side of this. We'll be right back.
When Chris proposed to me, he proposed to me with the ring that I bought. Actually, I ended up opening up a credit card at the jewelry store to get the ring. I'm still paying for a ring that I had to buy myself. I believe that Chris pawned the wedding ring that I bought him. That's annoying, to say the least.
You know, there are different reasons why people lie. They do it to take what is not rightfully theirs, to escape accountability. So I didn't do that. They create a fantasy of false self-esteem to escape their mundane life. They think, you know, my life's boring. I'm not an airline pilot, so I'll just say I am. And they just really embellish. They do it to avoid punishment, to get out of something. That's one of the things. They do it sometimes to inflict pain, to just hurt the other person. They'll say something to hurt you. They do it to feel better in the moment, to steal admiration. They'll say that they did something, so people, oh, wow, congratulations. You know, they get a lot of slaps on the back. They do it to gain advantage so they can exploit others. You know, they worm their way in there to exploit others. So, you know, those are basically the reasons that people lie. Now, he's kind of hit all of these points with you, but this has turned ugly. Yeah. I wrote down some of the things that I thought got really ugly. He has turned you in to the Department of Child and Family Services for being a bad mother.
Yeah.
He's tried to have your child taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Correct. Yeah.
How is that okay with you?
It's not.
And you let him back in your door after he did that?
Long ways. A couple months later, yeah, I did.
Did he call the police on you? Did he report you for kidnapping?
Yeah. Yep.
Did he accuse you of kidnapping your child across state lines?
Across state lines, visiting them.
I wanted my son.
You accused her of kidnapping and turned her in to the Department of Child and Family Services. And your response was, I wanted to see my son. You didn't say, Dr. Phil, that I have to say was an absolute low point. I'm sorry, I'm ashamed. She didn't deserve that.
It was wrong, yeah.
I want my kid to have a normal life with a father that's normal.
And if you have a man here that has held you prisoner, is threatening to kill himself, which is emotional extortion, and you are knowingly subjecting your children to that exposure, that could very well fall under the definition of neglect. That you are failing to protect those children by subjecting them to someone that you know to be unstable, that you know to be exploitive, that you know to behave in that way. When the lies start breaking down, it turns ugly. Has this turned ugly? And it's after that you've taken him back. Has he done one thing to change himself in any way?
No.
You have an undivided loyalty, and it's to those children, not to him.
Right. I agree.
Up next, can someone who's been lying their entire life find a way to change? I'm going to tell you what I think next. What do you think about what we've been talking about here?
It's true. And
What do you think needs to happen?
Change. You know, I don't want to be this way. And I do want a successful marriage and family.
You two are not together right now, right?
No.
Do you think he's changed at all?
No.
And while you've been here, he made you go in a room with him.
Yeah.
And tried to be intimate with you. And you said no.
Yeah. And it made him mad.
Huh?
And it made him very mad.
Uh-huh.
And using the show as leverage.
Uh-huh. He tried to threaten he wouldn't do the show if you didn't do it? Yeah. Okay. Just so we're very clear here, let me just be very clear here. You absolutely, unequivocally should not be involved with him at this point. I mean, absolutely, unequivocally. If that requires a restraining order, get one.
I've tried that before, yeah.
Well, you need to listen.
Yeah.
Somehow or another, you seem to try to minimize, trivialize, and mitigate everything. I say, did you let him back? Well, it was a couple of months. The answer was yes. I did let him back in. You seem to think like the fact that it was a couple of months later mitigated the fact that after he turned you in and tried to take your child away and accused you of kidnapping, that you let him back in. Your response was, well, it was a couple of months later. So that makes it okay. You seem to try to mitigate things. Stop mitigating and hear me. This is a black and white. You need to not be involved with him at this point, because I'm telling you, knowing what you know, your doing so makes your neglect foreseeable. And you will be held accountable. So I'm telling you, do what you want to do. All I can do is tell you.
And I appreciate that.
All I can do is tell you. And you can go, well, it's been a while, and he seemed really sincere. you tell yourself all you want to tell yourself.
Exactly what I'm, yeah.
Yeah, but you do that, and I'm telling you, DCFS is going to get involved here, and you're going to wind up so shocked you won't believe what happens. Okay. I'm just trying to warn you.
No, I need that wake-up call. I mean,
Yeah, well,
just,
get it now, because you're on national television, and they watch very closely. And if they see a mother subjecting their children to this, they will step in. It's my prediction, just my prediction. So I'm telling you, you need to stand your ground. He is not someone you need to be involved with at this point. You need serious help. And I'm willing to provide it for you in steps. In steps, okay? There's all kinds of help that I can provide for you that I think can really change your mindset, the way you problem solve, and so I'm gonna help you in stages. And the first thing I'm gonna do is, with a lot of guests, I told you I have a son, two of them actually, one of them Jay. He and I have created something called Doctor on Demand, and Doctor on Demand is it's an app that you can get on your smartphone or computer, where you don't even have to leave your house. You can just push a button, and in a matter of seconds, you can be face-to-face with a board-certified and licensed medical doctor or therapist, and you can be face-to-face with them right there and have sessions and work with them the same as you would be if you're sitting in their office. And I'm going to arrange for you to have a therapist on Doctor on Demand. And if you make and keep a dozen of those therapist appointments as scheduled on time, then I will take you to the next level of help, which may involve much more intensive program in Tennessee at a place called Onsite. That is a wonderful program that has to do with life skills and problem solving and all the things that would help you start getting traction in your life. Fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Fair enough? Okay. All right. And by the way, if you at home want to have your own Doctor on Demand, you can go to Google Play Store, iTunes App Store, and download the Doctor on Demand app. I mean, it's a great thing. I hope you grab this by the ears and work on this.
So what's our process with going forth after this? I mean, with her?
The first thing you got to do is get yourself cleaned up and straightened up. And I was beyond unambiguous about this. I'm telling her to not interact with you until you do what I am recommending that you do.
I don't like the fact that you're telling, you know.
I don't expect you to like hearing it.
Like I'm just like supposed to just miss out on the growth of my baby, the pregnancy, my son. You know, that's like just you know, drop all of that.
You chose that, not me. But I think, let me be very, very clear. I think that it is absolutely critical and essential for you to be intimately, intensely involved in these children's lives, whether you reconcile with her or whether you don't. My ultimate goal is always the reunification of a family. Listen to what I'm telling you, and you'd be amazed how fast this will turn around. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Get him to do it. We can turn this around.
Thank you.